Good afternoon, almost afternoon. Good afternoon. We'll be starting in a couple of minutes. Please feel free to go in the chat box. Let me know where you're dialing in from and go ahead and introduce yourself. Quite a few people coming in, so I'm just giving it a few more minutes. Welcome to everyone. Lovely to have you all. Let me know you can hear me and see my slides. Okay, welcome to everyone. Hi, Hernan, Lisa. Hello, Bronwyn. You can hear me. Perfect. Sherry, Elsa, fabulous. Make sure everything's on mute this side. Let me know where you're dialing it from. And this is our Ask Me session starting at 12 o'clock. Please have your questions ready to ask. I know we had over 50 people register for today, which is great and exciting as well. I'm just quickly checking the chat box. Bronwyn from Durban. Hello, Bronwyn. Nice to have you here. Sherry from East London. Hello. Wonderful. Lovely to have you here. I am dialing in from the chilly Cape Town today. Elsa B from J&S Properties, Carolina. Hello. Perfect. Thank you so much. I'm just quickly checking the wait room. Bronwyn, I did give you co-host access as well, just in case you can support on admitting. Welcome to everyone. I am looking forward to hopefully seeing you. If you would like to put your cameras on, always like connecting with faces as well. You're also welcome to unmute yourself. This is going to be an interactive Ask Me session where you can come in and ask any questions. So have your questions ready, anything about leadership, business, communication as well. All right. I have hit the record button, double checking everything. I usually live stream to Facebook, but I see I can't live stream with slides open at this stage. Giving it another minute, allowing some more people to come into the room. But please get your questions ready. Let me know where you're dialing in from. Got a minute to grab a cup of coffee? I've got mine right here. But I'm ready to go. All right, Lisa Lawrence from Cape Coastal Home Strand in Gordons Bay. Lovely to see you, Lisa. There we go. Coming in fast and furiously, quite a few people in the waiting room. Wonderful. Let me see. Yes, nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, 12 o'clock on the dot. Very much about getting ready, diving straight in. I'm sure a lot more people will come into the room as well. But welcome to everyone. This is a Ask Me session. Hello, Jennifer. And the ask is basically A for authority and action, S strategy that works, and knowledge shared freely. So I try and share as much knowledge as I can for free with you, anything related to business, leadership, communication, where you are and how I can support you as well. My name's Nicke. I'm a communication and leadership strategist, and I love helping people find their voice so they can communicate with authority, they can lead their team to get more productivity and profitability. And importantly, I love helping people gain those skills to find their confidence and fall in love with their voice. And this is one of the quotes that I absolutely love, the 3 C's of life: the choices, chances, and changes. To make a choice, to take a chance, or your life will never change. And I think sometimes it's just having having a space where you can ask the question, where you've showed up today, you've made the choice, you showing up to hear some more, but also how can we support each other and make the changes in our life that we would like. So I'm going to just put you on gallery now as well. And I'm just double checking. There we go. Gallery. If there are any questions, this is the time where you can get brave. Raise your digital hand, ask those questions. You're welcome to type them in the chat box as well. But it is interactive. These sessions are recorded. They do go onto my YouTube channel. But I would love to hear from you. The best way for us to make this work is for you to have questions. I don't prepare a lot of questions, although I do a lot of these sessions with all of my clients. So I would love to hear from you What questions do you have? Hi, Razia. Razia, do you have a question for me? Razia, are you there? Do you have a question for me? No. All right. So I am going to go and start streaming live onto Facebook as well. But in the meantime, please come up with any questions that you may have, anything. Actually, I'm not going to do, Patricia, I don't think I'm going to do the Facebook just because it's going to my personal page again and not my business page. But let me open up. I'd love to have you all here. I'm so grateful you're all here. These are the Ask Me sessions. Come in, ask any questions. The best benefit you will get here today is asking questions that you may have. So if you're feeling shy, this is your time to ask. You're welcome to raise a digital hand. You're welcome to unmute yourself. And let's get going with some questions. I know Lynette and Jennifer Bronwyn often come as well. So really appreciate that. Thank you so much that you come and you share these questions, and we get great feedback with everyone as well. So give me clarity about NCC. Elza, if you could please give me more information about the NCC, what that means. You are unmuted if you'd like to go ahead and chat. Elza, I can't hear you if you can hear me. National Consumer Commission. All right, Elza, is that in for the property game? For that, I have no information at this stage. Of what exactly you're asking about that. If you can give me a little bit more information with the NCC, National Consumer Commission. Let me know what exactly are you looking for about that. Okay, so reminder, today's an Ask Me session. Ask me anything. If I can help you, I'll give you the clarity. If I don't, I will let you know who I can speak to or find the answer for you, with you, and share that information as well. While I'm waiting for more information from Elza, please feel free. This is your time to ask any question regarding leadership, communication, and strategy in your business. Lynette.
Yes. Hi.
Yes, hello.
Morning.
Morning.
Okay, I was thinking on the weekend, I thought of a question. It's a bit of a twofold situation where it's how does one deal with a client where either they are wanting a good price on not just one product, but maybe they're ordering 1,000, or maybe it's ongoing. Or the other side of it is if one does provides a service where maybe it's not a once-off design job, maybe it becomes a regular thing, maybe it's ongoing. And the clients are always under this belief of, can you give me a good price? And it's just like, whether you make one product or 1,000, the same time goes in there. And if I do design work, and it's even, if it's ongoing, I dedicate my time, I give quality. I don't just skimp because I know I'm going to get more work. So it's always a tricky situation, kind of to let the client know, hey, I'm worth this. You you can't just get stuff on the cheap.
I absolutely hear you there. And I think the way you've said that is beautiful. So one of the things I want to share with you, it's firstly having value and believing in your product and believing in your service, which you've just said. But so often, and I think we all in the field where we work with business, and everybody wants the best buck, the best value for their buck. And generally people will ask for a discount because they're comfortable doing that. Now, recently, what happened to myself, I had a client, we had a Zoom call, we had a conversation, a discovery call regarding what he wanted. We then met face to face because he wanted one-to-one coaching, and I like to make sure our synergies matching up and our values as well. Also with the client who's going to be investing in my services and me, my time in him to make sure I can serve him. But the question did come up of my price and if I was negotiable on my price. And for the first time, I kept quiet and I said, I am negotiable. I'm very happy to charge more. And I kept quiet. And he looked at me and kind of smiled. And I was like, yeah. And he was like, no, 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 your price. Like, can you go lower? And I said, do you want less value? And he was like, no. And I was like, well, actually, no, that is my price. And I'm not negotiable because I know the value I can give. In fact, I really am coming at a very competitive price and a really good price for what you get. And I haven't put my prices up for 2 years because I want to make a difference in people's lives. But I've also know what other people are charging. So I'm very comfortable and confident with my price. Very happy for you to sign up. We'll do a 2-hour session, see that you get the value from there, and then we can move forward. That's the first time I've done that, but I know the value I give. He did his 2-hour session. He just paid for another 8 hours, straight up. No problem, no questions asked. So I think one of the biggest things, Lynette, if it's going to be a continuity or where you've got a big deal, like a big order, and you have a little bit, and maybe that's where you can look at your pricing and your marketing, where you can look at a little bit of pricing of saying, what can you do for bulk orders? But if you're going, I'm going to give you, for me, the time and effort making 1 box or 1,000 boxes, I'm going to give you 100%. So that is my price. But if you look at your costings of what you do and how much leeway do you have, you still need to do it for a profit and without resentment. But if it's going to be a continuity that it makes sense to drop the price 20 cents, 30 cents, 50 cents an item, depending, and just for everyone else, Lynette sells the most delicious shortbread cookies. So just to give you an idea on the product that she sells, if you do have room for scalability on the price that they offer or for how many they offer on a continuity basis, and it works for you, I mean, it's so much better getting one person buying 1,000 cookies per month than trying to find 1,000 people to buy 1 box. So then I would look at it on a scalability side from yourself of what's the best return on your investment for your time, still giving the best product. And maybe it's just a small little amount. Maybe it's not a discount. Maybe it's giving for every 20 boxes, you get 1 free. So looking at that from your side. But yes, know your value, know what you offer, know your time you're giving as well, which is very important.
Yeah.
I hope that helps. Yeah.
I was just at the thought if and when it happens, I want to be prepared.
Absolutely. No, so it's not if and when, it's when it happens, you are prepared.
Okay.
But I think one of the things is the power of the pause. So for example, when this gentleman asked me for a discount and I said, yes, very happy to charge you more, and I kept dead quiet. And that was it. And even after our 2-hour session, he asked to book for 8 and he said, are you negotiable on your price? And I said, it's this total times 8. And then I carried on doing what I was doing. I just left him. And immediately sitting there, he did an EFT, done. No questions asked. So ultimately, we all want value for our money. And if you know you're delivering, you just need to live by what you're delivering.
And I guess sometimes people just sort of take a chance, like, hey, maybe I can cut her down. But if one stands firm, then maybe they realize, yes, she knows what her worth is.
Correct. So something that came up quite recently for me, there was a massive, massive, massive aha. For those of you that are on my newsletters and receiving them, that's why you'd be here. I ran a special for the month of May. And May is my company, The Winning Attitude, 6-year birthday. So I ran a special for May. I had the first 6 people of each course would get a substantial discount, and looking at, just giving back for May. I had a client contact me who's done my full paid course of leadership before. And she actually sent me a message and she said, I don't know why you're offering such large discounts, because I know I want to do all your courses, but I also know the value you add. And if I can't afford it right now, I will save up enough money so I can afford it. And I really hope you're not undercutting yourself to get more clients and not realizing the value you add. And it actually was such a beautiful message, but it really made me think of how many people are, when they look at a special, they look at a deal, immediately comes in, are we chasing? As opposed to what value are we offering? So that, I'm only doing a special for the month of May. I don't do Black Friday specials. And that's what it is, because otherwise people then start waiting. So if you're running specials consistently with your beautiful shortbread cookies and there's no special for June, I'll wait for July for the special. Whereas if I know I'm paying 100 Rand for, just using an example, 100 Rand for your cookie, right, which is worth every single cent for that decadence, I know that's what I'm saving up to get the money together to buy your product. So that was quite profound for me. It was a lovely life lesson in the last month. Okay, thank you. Elsa, so the registration and payment for direct marketing. So Elsa, all I can share with you is what I've heard, and this is specifically on cold calling and phoning clients. I know because I coach a lot of real estate agents one-to-one, and I know there's a lot of communication regarding that at the moment. I am not the best person to answer that. I am on quite a few attorneys' broadcast groups, and I'm reading up about it, and I think there's still a lot of gray area in that way. What my understanding is that you need to, every time you want to phone somebody, put them in this page and find out if they're on a page that said remove them from the page. And it's going to cost you per person to check if you can contact them or not. What I also understand from that is I may have somebody, if I think about it today, my phone's rung a couple of times, and I could have somebody insurance phoning me, and I'm like, do not contact me. My name goes onto the do not contact list. Now that goes across every single industry not to contact me because I don't want insurance, but maybe I do want a real estate agent, or maybe I do want to buy Lynette's cookies, or maybe I do want somebody else's services. So it's, I think, a very gray area at the moment. Again, I'm going to be 100% honest. I'm not the best person to answer that at the moment, but I am staying up to date with what's going around. However, what I would highly recommend for me being solution-minded is what can you do differently? At the moment, you can't do direct marketing. Something that I did last month, I did a little video, took me, did a 30-second video. I put it on Facebook. I ran Facebook ads. I paid 1,000 Rand for Facebook ads. My video was connected to a lead magnet, which was, if you want more information, let me know. They filled in a form, which gave me their name, their email address, and their phone number with permission to contact them. I got 275 leads from that. And with that, I now had the opportunity and their permission to contact them. So look at other avenues of what you can do, because personally, when I look at this going, okay, I've got a list of people I want to phone. Now I need to take their name, put it in the do not call list. I believe it's 12 cents per person. That's what I've heard. But if I'm not taking that time, I'm just going to be like, I'm not even going to phone. For me personally, it's just going to take a lot of time. How else can I find my audience? So currently, I'm busy working on a new marketing strategy for my company. But what did work for me was doing an ad. And that's one of the things I do in my Speak with Impact for Effective Communication course. I help you become more confident on camera, sharing your message clearly, concisely in 30 seconds that people want to work with you. You launch a lead magnet, and then people can contact you. So it's all about coming back to value, the value you can give your client. And that's what I would highly recommend. You start looking at different avenues there as well. Again, Elsa, very happy to share details with you with the attorneys that I'm currently following, who's giving me information, and happy to share that with you as well. Hope that helps. All right, Razia, another question coming in. 2 candidates interviewed. Would you choose one over age and experience, or young and that can train? I think that's really a great question. I would be very clear before the recruitment of exactly what it is that you're looking for. So what personality are you looking for? What standards are you wanting for that person? And then, not out of the two, who meets that criteria? So ultimately, it's come up a lot with, recently had conversations about people over the age of 50 just don't get hired anymore. I think, Shane, we were discussing this in the car. Yeah, people over 50 just don't get hired anymore. But in fact, a lot of companies are hiring people over 50, 60, because firstly, they're not going to want to jump around from job to job. Secondly, 60 is the new 40. We're still young and we still got vibrancy, but we've got the experience as well. So I definitely would say, depending on what position you're looking for, who's the best person and the right person for the job, as opposed to looking at age. I do like, for me, it also comes down to the attitude. If they have the right attitude, for me, means everything. And you can always train someone's skill, but you can't train somebody's attitude. So I would really look at their behavior, how they're showing up, what are their values, do they align with your business, what are their goals, and how do they align with your business. And that's what I would look at, identifying the best person or the right person for the job. Just touching on that as well. Sometimes we interview two people and then we try to make a choice between the best one out of the two. And if you have your criteria clear, your basic standards of what you want, you might actually find neither of them meet your criteria. And it goes back to the drawing board. But often with recruitment, we only get two people. We choose the best out of the two, but it doesn't necessarily make sure it's the right person. So that for me is very important as well. Hope that helps. All right, keep those questions coming in. Thank you so much. And if you have more that you want to ask about that, follow up, please let me know, or follow on anything further there. My name is Nicke. This is our Ask Me session. Anything regarding leadership, communication, recruitment. I do a lot of different things and I love to share what I do know. And if I can't help you, I will also gladly put up my hand and say that as well, but at least find the answer for you. So we'd love to see, are there any other questions? Hello, Jennifer. Nice to see you here as well. AI, how to learn it, please. So that great question on AI. One of the things is quite a lot of courses that you can do on AI. In fact, I have one on how to get AI to speak in your language. So recently, I have a group called Go Getters. We meet every Tuesday morning. And I brought in an AI expert. So firstly, there's a lot of different AI platforms you can use, and so many different AI platforms that can help you with different parts of your business. My question would be, to start with AI, is what outcome do you want? In fact, everything I like to do is what outcome do you want? So that would be the first thing. Are you using for content? Are you using it to help you? I'm currently got ChatGPT and I am busy building a 3-year business strategy for myself and my company. And I often say that ChatGPT and I are having an affair. I speak to it every single day. I call her my wing woman. She's definitely a woman, no disrespect to any men, but she's highly intelligent. She's got me on point. But we also have arguments on a regular basis. So what you do need to do is train AI to speak in your language. That is the most important part to start. So, Razia, let me know, are you happy to unmute? What exactly are you wanting AI for? And then I can guide you there. Like, what outcome do you want from AI? Okay. I'm going to come back to you, Rosie. If you're happy to unmute, we can carry on there. Then another question has come through. I'm going to come back. Creditors and tenant correspondence. Sorry, can't unmute. That's okay. I can see if you can. But on that, I would really recommend finding there's two that a lot of people highly recommend. So if you're looking for correspondence, Claude or ChatGPT, start with one. And the best thing to do, and I'm just going to put it out there, is the best thing to do is to get AI to speak in your brand voice, to understand who you are. A great thing that you can do with that is simply hit the unmute button, talk to AI, and tell AI all about you. Like, this is my name, this is what I do, have a conversation. You can also take, if you look at your LinkedIn profile, your Facebook profile, any profiles you have about yourself, copy and paste that and put that into AI as well. So it gets a very clear understanding of who you are. If you have a website or a landing page, you can drop that into AI as well. And you then, The second thing is, once you've given AI all that information, the second question is to say to AI, in understanding everything you've got about me, who do I sound like to you? And what I did with that was it came back and said Richard Branson, Mel Robbins, and a few different celebrities. And for me, then I was like, well, I don't want to sound like this person. I rather want to sound like this person. Let's adjust my brand voice accordingly. So what was important for me was I did not want to sound like AI. I do not speak in unwavering languages to push myself to reach my full potential, to shatter my nerves. That's not the way I speak. That's AI language. So I wanted the language to be very much authentically myself. So welcome to Reach Out. A lot that you can learn with AI. I hope that helps. All right, Lisa, I'm a estate agent. My biggest competition has recently moved into my neighborhood where I canvass and market for the last 10 years. Any suggestions? Stay being visible. Most importantly, I would, Lisa, highly recommend you stay top of mind. You nurture all your current clients, previous clients, and future clients. We were actually talking about it this morning again, and it's really about the visibility. So often what happens, we get so busy and we become well known in our area or with what we're doing, and then we take a back seat and trust referrals come to us. Not to say that you're doing that. I have made that mistake before. The most importantly is visibility. Now, with visibility, how are you showing up online? How are you showing up for your clients? One of the things that I've started this week only is my power hour. Every day, I want to reach out to 5 past clients, 5 current clients, and 5 future clients. And more importantly, 5 connections on LinkedIn. So 20 people a day. And when I say connect with them, it could be asking for a connection either on Facebook or on LinkedIn. Reaching out to past clients can be a WhatsApp. It can be a voice note. It can be a video note. It can also be a phone call. Current clients, exactly the same. Future clients, start connecting with them. And how are you connecting with them? So that can be your lead magnet, it can be drop-offs, it can be your newsletter, but what are you doing that consistently shows the visibility? I worked with a business coach in America for a good few years, and I was sharing this morning on our Go-Getters. She used to email, or she still actually does, emails every single day. I get an email from her every single day. It's a very American thing. I send out a weekly newsletter. My current coaching clients send out a weekly newsletter. And the best thing about that, whether you read it or you don't, is every week you go, Nicke, the winning attitude, delete. Next week, Nicke, the winning attitude, delete. The next week, Nicke, the winning attitude, delete. But I am top of mind. That's the most important. And I would highly recommend that's what you do. I would also look at your biggest competition. And how can you support each other? Is there opportunity to have a cup of coffee together? Is there opportunity to say, how can you support and work together? Just putting it out there. Now you might be going, oh, but I highly recommend. I always say there's enough business for everyone. And if you stay in top of mind and you deliver the brilliant service that you do, you will stay. They're probably going, oh my gosh, I'm moving into an area where my biggest competition already has is 10-year grounding in this area. How challenging is this going to be? So something just to think about. They're probably feeling exactly the same way. So definitely, I would maybe reach out, see how you can work together. All right. Thank you so much. Love these questions coming through. Looking for more questions. Who would like to ask? Or go ahead. Anything leadership, recruitment, communication related, or in business. I hope you're getting some value from each other's questions. But these are all great, great, great ways for us to learn with and through each other. Anybody else? I do want to share as well that I am actually hosting a From Awkward to Authority masterclass this afternoon. So if you want to look at how to improve your communication, specifically with, doing a cold call or a warm call, doing a video, stepping into a networking function as well, I'm sharing a simplified tool with you today that will help you with that. So I'm going to ask Patricia to drop, there we go. Thank you so much. Drop the link in the chat box as well. You're welcome to click on that. I have a free masterclass today at 3 o'clock, otherwise tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock as well. Because specifically what you're saying here, Elsa, with the whole cold calling, of not being able to cold call, or the complexities around cold calling, there's definitely different ways of looking at how to bring business in. And I know even if you're allowed to cold call, most people don't like cold calling. So a great way to look at different areas for results as well. So I'd love to hear any more questions. Who would like to share? Practicing the power of the pause. Jennifer.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Perfect. Can't see you, but I can hear you. Hello.
Okay, hello. So one of the things I know that you're very good at is organizing your day. And I have that, your 60-day challenge. I kept falling off the chart with that. I am the most easily distracted, most easy person to get bored. The person that says yes to, yeah, let's do it now, so that I don't have to do this awful routine stuff. And what else have I put on here? I'm completely disorganized, have no systems, I'm easily distracted and get bored very quickly. So I am looking at how to wake up tomorrow with a plan for my day, obviously outside of my commitments to my clients of the day, so that my day is more structured.
Okay. So thank you for your question, Jennifer. And if I ask you to sum that all up, because if you've created a 60-day challenge, what I understand from you, so you're creating a 60-day challenge about having more structure. Is that correct?
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but I didn't actually get to be on day 3 with it.
That's okay. So maybe it's also just having more clarity and choosing one thing. Because at the end of the day, to say, oh, did I have more structure today? Did I procrastinate? What about shifting it and saying every day I am going to choose one thing for tomorrow that's a non-negotiable, and putting it down on a list. So I created something last year because I use these all the time. It's called a winning planner. So there we go, winning planner. It's my winning attitude planner. And the reason I created these is because I buy them and used to use them, and I wanted it more specific to myself. So give you an example, this was my day yesterday. Not that I encourage that amount, but what I'll do, like you said, so I've got my clients that I'm coaching or my training sessions, that's non-negotiable. Then what I do is I plan anything additional that was a win, I write it down for structure. But let's just take Tuesday out of the equation. Here's Wednesday. I've got 2 things on my list tomorrow. And then I'll add one more thing that's a non-negotiable. So currently I'm doing Power Hour. And Power Hour, reaching to 5 past clients, 5 current clients, 5 future clients, and connecting with 5 on LinkedIn. That's my Power Hour. So those are my non-negotiables. So what about just choosing one thing? One non-negotiable that you have to focus on, as opposed to going, I want a completely structured day. Because if I have to share my calendar with you today, I had my Power Hour booked from 10 to 11. However, my 9 o'clock to 10 o'clock meeting ran a bit late. Then I decided I still hadn't had breakfast. I needed to have breakfast. Then my mother popped in to say hi. So that Power Hour is still there, but the time has moved past. Am I a failure? Not at all. I'm just going to move it later into the day. So it still gives me structure and time that I can get it done. But like you said, often we do the procrastination. So I like to get it done first in the morning. But unfortunately, other things showed up this morning. So now I'm just moving it to a bit later. So what about just choosing one thing and it's going, and maybe looking at it and going, tomorrow, this is my one thing I have to do. That's going to help me. So I've got my clients that I have to do. What's the one thing I can do? And then each day, just choosing one thing, as opposed to saying, because there's very little, that's not the right thing. It's having clarity about what the structure look like for you.
Oh, get it.
Yeah. So even if you do power hour, I mean, I've got my 60-day challenge right here. There's my big black line. I started fresh again yesterday. So again, it's going, okay, what is that one thing I have to do? That one thing I need to do to make it easier or different? What is that one thing I need to focus on? And if you can just achieve that, that's great. The reason I like, yes, pardon, go ahead.
Wouldn't it make more sense to do that by the week?
I
Because
can
there's
do,
no point in me doing the 5 phone outs and 5 blah, 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 blahs. And then the next day I just drop that routine.
so I'm doing with my power hour, Monday to Fridays, not Saturdays and Sundays. I've also stopped pushing myself to be a perfectionist. So even at the moment with my 60-day challenge, a lot of the things that I'm doing is going just 5 times in a week. So you've got 7 days to choose from, depending what it is. If it's client work, it's Monday to Friday. But if it's exercise, going 5 times a week. So if I don't exercise 5 times Monday to Friday, then I need to do Saturday, Sunday. So ultimately it's going, what is that one thing I can do that's going to help me reach closer? And again, I think it's also giving myself grace that if I don't achieve, I'm not a failure. I've still done 4 instead of nothing.
Yeah.
Which is important.
I think that one of the challenges, what I think I should be doing, and then I end up doing nothing. I see some people nodding, so maybe they have a similar challenge.
I think I'm finding personally for myself, if I'm feeling overwhelmed by how much I have to do, my brain then stops and goes, I can't do anything.
Yeah.
So currently I'm busy building out a 3-year strategy with ChatGPT and very clear communication saying, I want a 3-year strategy, but we're going to work on one task at a time. And when I ask you something, I want the feedback in one paragraph. That's it. Because otherwise it can also overwhelm you with 3 pages. And then it's like, oh, it's so much. So ideally it's going, what is the one thing I can do? What is that one thing that I can focus on? And give it to me in simple terms. So otherwise, very similar to you, when there's too much to do, then I do nothing. But what I've started doing, I think you've seen I'm going to share it with you as well now, but show you my calendar, my Google Calendar. Yeah. So this is where I'm at. And looking at my Google Calendar, I added in my power connection hour, and I added it in every single week, Monday to Friday. But I have the ability to move it according to where it is, what I need to do. Ideally, also within time frame of business. What I've also come to, if I don't get the power hour done, then I need to double up the next day of what I need to do. So I'm definitely contacting 100 people per week. But this does help me stay on track. I also color coordinate when I'm money-making activities, working on my business, or power hour, or connecting, or strategizing as purple versus orange, which is personal. Does that help?
Yeah. Well, it helps, except that now I'm even more overwhelmed because you're so blimmin' organized. I don't think I don't even have green blocks yet.
Okay, so just do one thing.
Yeah.
Just do one thing. I have been doing that since 2019.
Yeah.
Do I achieve every single day? Absolutely not. And I can put there not achieved. And the difference is I'm giving myself grace and saying it's okay that I didn't achieve. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. But at least even yesterday I connected with over 20 people. And I was like, if all I did was yesterday, it's better than I've done in the last year.
Okay. Then just one little bit of feedback. We've just recently done the course on this new Poppy Act and all this thing about phone outs and It only actually kicks in September. So we
Oh.
have a grace period of phoning, but we do have to say, is it okay for me to contact you, or would you like me to remove you from? And then we have to unsubscribe them.
Okay.
But we have until September before there are penalties and reports and blah, blah, blah.
Okay, thank you for that, Jennifer. I hope you heard that, Elsa. So phone before September. So, when you're looking at that, so that's great to know as well. I think it's going to also, like everything else, not just be a click of a switch. It's going to take time. Think about it with every client that you had to ask them to opt in, opt out for an email. All the emails I send out has an unsubscribe button. No longer want to receive these emails, you can unsubscribe. And I think that's what it's going to be doing. It's just giving people the unsubscribe option. I don't know about you, but since they started this, it has been wonderful not having my phone ring every hour from different telemarketers. Like
I just put Truecaller on my phone. Truecaller cuts them off anyway.
Yeah. So no, I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So that's for September.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you. Great questions. Coming back to the chat box, Elsa, I'm Afrikaans speaking, don't have the ability to make videos and speak English. Any suggestions? I don't have the confidence to speak. Highly recommend you register for this afternoon, 3 o'clock, or tomorrow, 11 o'clock, firstly. Secondly, Elsa, I think a lot of people, when English is not their first language, they are quite hard on themselves about that. However, I have to let you know that if you ask me to do a video in Afrikaans, I would sound not so great. But with practice and practice and practice, is going to make a difference. I think for yourself, just remember, you are going to attract the audience who wants to work with you. You're going to repel those that don't. Definitely comes with practice. Even when I joke and say I can't speak Afrikaans, but I have masters to say lekker dag verder, and there's certain things that I need to say in Afrikaans when I speak to people as well. But more importantly, all I'm going to say is the confidence you will get with practice is the best things. I'm currently working with somebody now, working with them on pronunciation, working them on articulation. That's one of the things I offer on my courses as well. So definitely there is help for that and support with that. And more importantly, it's not the confidence to speak, it's the skill to learn to be able to speak is the most important. We all have confidence, but we need to learn that skill. And I think that's definitely something you can learn. I hope that helps. Razia, I scroll too much and end up doing nothing productive in my spare time. Terrible. I'm started getting off groups. So I've actually come up with something now that the only time I touch my phone is to scroll quickly for a quick message. If it's client messages, the rest get parked. All my groups, I muted them. If I have time at the end of the day, I read it. Otherwise, I park it. One of the groups I'm currently on with great information, sometimes by the end of the day has over 1,000 messages. So I'm like, do I choose to spend an hour with my husband or reading this? And I'm like, I'd rather spend time with my husband, or I'd rather read a book. So again, I think when it comes to scrolling, the best thing to do, I was doing this yesterday with my power hours as well. I set my alarm for an hour, switch my phone upside down and get stuck in. Take WhatsApp off my computer, emails off my computer, so nothing distracts me for that hour. And then 10-minute gap, answer any questions that you may have. So I hope that helps. But I know some phones give you the end of the week, how many hours you've spent on your phone. My thing is, if you looked at that many hours and you spent half that amount of time cold calling or doing business, how much would that help your business? So I know it's very easy to say. I'm actually finding myself even Sundays now, not even touching my phone. And it's been absolute bliss. So I'm also kind of finding social media quite depressing. There's always like negative stuff there. And there's just too much going on. So that for me is focusing and again on being intent. But maybe set yourself for 15 minutes every hour and go, 15 minutes I can scroll. When my alarm goes off, I stop. and being disciplined about that, but rewarding yourself with scrolling or with doing what you enjoy doing as well. Yeah, hope that helps. Thank you. Jennifer, when you say connect in Power Hour, what are you doing? So difference on LinkedIn, connecting, asking if I can be connected. At the moment, I'm currently connecting with all my current clients that I'm working with. I know you're only allowed to send 3 notes unless you're premium, so I want to look at that. But connecting on LinkedIn, so either LinkedIn, Facebook, making sure we're connected on social media. Another connecting is going into a follow-up phone call, a WhatsApp, a video note. So connecting is just reaching out to somebody. Today, I'm doing 5 phone calls for current clients that I'm speaking to, or future clients that I'm currently speaking to. I'm also connecting with 5 past clients. How are you doing? How's business? How's things going? Yeah, give me an update. And then looking at my top 100 of future clients that I would like to work with as well. So that's what I'm doing in my Power Hour. I've started a spreadsheet that I'm tracking everyone as well. And that way, then I can stay on track with who I've spoken to, who I've connected with, and maintain that communication as well. Hope that helps, Jennifer. Perfect. Great questions coming through. Who else would like to ask a question? Any questions, ask me session. Also a reminder, the free masterclass this afternoon, 3 o'clock, or tomorrow at 11. And these are lunchtime with Nicke. We do every month on the last Tuesday of the month. And I know some of you are sitting, hopefully learning and helping us. But if you have a question, please, I always say there's no stupid questions. Ask the question. Let's learn with and through each other. If you asked the question before, you can ask as many as you'd like. You've got another 16 minutes. My brain is on fire. Go ahead. Okay. How can you connect with colleagues when you start at a new company? So if you start a new company, and how can you interact with the new colleagues? I would highly recommend starting with one-to-ones, getting to know each other, asking someone, oh, could we go for a coffee? I would love to get some advice from you. How did you find it when you started the company? So think of 3 questions you can ask each person and just start building that rapport. You'll very quickly pick up who you build rapport with, who would want to work with you, who maybe works individually. But I would just start with 3 questions. The biggest way to build rapport is one-to-ones. And even if it just means popping out and getting a coffee, or while you're making coffee in the, if you're working in an office environment, while you're in the kitchen, having a conversation. But, people love speaking about themselves. So if you say to each person, I would love one piece of advice that you wish you had known when you started in the company, what would that have been? That's a great question to ask. Or what has been your highlight of working in this company? What challenges have you found in the area, not in the company, because you want to keep it positive, but what challenges have you found in the area? Like, is there anything you can help me with? And people generally would be very accommodating to help. So I hope that helps you. Yeah. Nicke, do you have someone who can assist me with an issue on Facebook Meta Business? Jennifer, I think Patricia, just let me know if you can assist there. Patricia is on the call. I would, let's just give Patricia a minute to see if Patricia can assist on that. My page has been disconnected by fraudsters. Oh, that is very annoying. I do have somebody, she's now moved to Australia, who helped one of my other clients with that. I would reach out to Patricia, otherwise to Nadia, and see if they can support you on that. I'm sorry to hear that. It's very challenging. getting hold of somebody at Facebook as well. Patricia, hello. Depending on the issue, sometimes it's easy to recover and sometimes it needs support of Meta Agent. So I would definitely recommend speaking to Patricia, Jennifer, and see if she's able to support you there.
Thank you.
Perfect. My pleasure. My pleasure. All right. Any other questions? There we go. Got a few more people coming in. But any other questions regarding leadership, communication, recruitment, and business? Let me know. Habits, goals. Hi, Mariska. Just opening up for any more questions. We've got another few minutes to go. We'd love to hear. We've had some incredible questions so far. Thank you so much for your vulnerability and sharing. Mariska, if you have any questions, you're welcome to unmute, or you can go ahead and type in the chat box. And I really hope there we go. Mariska, go ahead. Check. Can you hear me? You're unmuted and muted again. So if you have a question, you're welcome to type in the chat box or unmute yourself. Bronwyn, you're very quiet. No questions today? All good. Fabulous. Jennifer. Yes. Do you have a question? Like, no. I've never seen Bronwyn shy in my life. Yes, go ahead, Jennifer.
No, I said there's two Jennifers on the call. Just now when you said, Jennifer, ask your question, I was going to say, whoa, I haven't said anything.
Go ahead. If there's any other questions for our Ask Me session, please do feel free to ask, and I will answer in the best way that I know. All right. I hope you all found value in today's session and enjoyed it. Definitely, something I like to do specifically when I do my masterclass this afternoon and tomorrow, I actually have a Q&A session there as well, where you can come and ask any questions regarding communication. But I want to thank everyone who's been here today, who's asked questions, been brave. If there are any questions, this is your time to unmute, ask those questions. Otherwise, I am going to say thank you very much for being here. I appreciate you all very much. And I hope you got some value, learned with and through each other too. So last round, hands up if you have a question or thing. Thank you, Razia. Appreciate you. Thank you. Any questions, you're welcome. Hernan, Sherry, Elza, Jennifer, Razia, Mariska, Lynette, and Bronwyn. Thank you so much. Inspirational as usual. Thank you, Jennifer. Appreciate you. Thank you. And now we have Michael Shea coming in, and Michael always has a question. So you're welcome to stay back. Let me see. He always comes in with great questions as well. Thank you so much. But yep, we do have another few minutes. There we go, Mr. Michael Shane. We've been waiting for you, and I know you've always got great questions.
How's it, Nicke?
Hello. How are you?
I'm doing great. How about you? I mean, you've been through a few things.
Yep, but doing fabulous right now. Thank you. So
Great.
much better.
So nice to hear.
Good. Michael, have you got any questions?
Yeah, look, it's better late than never. My question is basically, I shouldn't complain because I'm very grateful. I'm very, very busy at the moment. Don't know why, but that's great.
Yay.
And I've got somebody to handle my social media, so that's a load off my shoulders.
Well
According to
done.
your advice.
Well done.
Now my situation is I need to get somebody to work with me, and that's my challenge. I just cannot seem to find the right person.
When you say somebody to work with you, is it another real estate agent who can come do sales with you?
No, it's to do admin and all the stuff that I don't want to do.
Okay, so there's somebody above you on the top right-hand side. Her name is Bronwyn. She's a specialist admin solutions. If you're happy having somebody who does virtual work, she is your girl. She also works by the hour. That sounds bad, but she does, like, you don't have to pay a full salary, you can use the ad hoc of what you need and how you need if you don't want somebody full-time. So I would say, depending, do you want somebody in your office sitting next to you, helping you with transactions and deals and paperwork and documents? Then it's a different conversation. But the same way you hired somebody to do your social media is exactly your next step, bringing somebody in for admin. So the nice thing about virtual assistant, Bronwyn's my virtual assistant. She works with Patricia as well, and a lot of other people that I work with. The nice thing about having a virtual assistant is you pay for the hours that you use her for. Sometimes it's 1 hour, sometimes it's 10 hours, but it's not or 40 hours. It's not necessarily a salary. And the reason I say that, she is excellent in understanding what's needed doing, and she does it well. So I would say, and I'm not just trying to punt Bronwyn, but I have worked with her, and that's why I recommend her. So I would say that. Otherwise, it's looking. So the two question is: do you want somebody in person or online, virtual? Would be my question.
Ideally, I'd like somebody in person for a flexible job of either 2 days a week for 5 hours a day so that they can fetch their kids or do whatever they like. They're very flexible. But ideally, I would actually prefer, look, I don't know what it's like to work virtually, so I really can't say.
So I would give it a try. The nice thing of it, again, depends on what the portfolio is of what you need doing. If it's someone to handle the back end, somebody to handle things that can happen online, sometimes we feel like we have to be in person, whereas 90% of what we do can be online. But if it's signatures, papers, printing, documents, filing, then it's definitely having somebody in person. Something I would put out there in your area that you live in, put it out in your different social media groups that you're looking for somebody part-time for a couple of hours. There's also Recruit My Mom, which is a very, very, very good recruiting company, and you can advertise on there. Jennifer's laughing, but it's women and men that they hire, but then you can put a very clear ad of exactly what it is that you're looking for. In fact, my mom found a job there 12 years ago, and she's still working for the same company.
Wow.
So really great idea, but just be very clear and specific of what you're looking for.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for that, because that's exactly what I need. So that was the medicine for today.
There we go. Fabulous. And Jennifer, I need someone to handle my non-existent social media too, please. Patricia, she's right in this group. Patricia, if you want to drop your details as well. Patricia has been working with me now, the Winning Attitude, for a year. She has elevated my business to the next level. Absolutely on point. Social media is excellent. When I look back at 6 years ago, my journey over the last 6 years of my business, she has done wonderful things for my business in the last 6 years. So highly recommend her. And she was highly recommended to me. So I very easily, the reason I would only recommend, like I recommend Bronwyn and Patricia, is because both of them helped me. And I am not an easy person to work with. So, and they handle me. So, Michael, yes, Michael, you want to agree with that?
I'm sure Patricia's brilliant. I've just got one question. How much business do you really get from social media?
So when I want to say how much business, so one of the things of social media is it's the visibility that's important. So when I get inquiries via, Google, my website inquiries, I always say to them, where did you find out about me? And I get a lot of inquiries via Google or via ChatGPT. However, even when I'm recruiting someone, when I'm looking for someone, the first thing I do is go and look at their social media. So Michael, you reach out and say you want to list my property. I'm going to say, okay, great. Before I say yes, I'm going to go stalk you on social media. And if there's nothing there, I'm going to be like, I don't really know who this man is. So it's all about the visibility. When I look at my investment per month that I spend on social media, I am very clear that there may or may not be a return on my investment, because my return on my investment is not visible. I'm not getting somebody going, I'm signing up because of your social media post, but they're signing up because of my visibility. So I look at my visibility as my investment of what she does for me. And then the second thing is, when Jennifer's saying my non-existent social media, for a long time, I was like, I'll just do it myself. I'll just do it myself. And what often happened is nothing happened, right? So I kept going, I can do it. I just don't have the time. Or I can do it, but it overwhelms me. Or I can do it, but I don't want to do it. This has been one of the best investments I've ever done. I've said it to Patricia before. Every month when her invoice comes, I pay with a smile, because the return on my investment for what she does for me with the visibility is incredibly important.
Thank you.
So my pleasure.
It's actually building relationships more than actually getting business.
Totally.
Okay.
Totally. So a lot of people will reach out to me and they go, oh, we saw this, and then they go and read my reviews. Then they go onto my social media. Then they'll go, okay, you've got a following, like, you've got content out there. So it is all about that. There we go. Patricia says it's brand awareness. Before people buy from you, they need to know you exist. Consistent content keeps your business visible, memorable, and relevant. 100%. So again, you might think, and when I say there's not a return on my investment, is not what I mean that I don't make money from social media. Because if there was nothing, so all those clients that I convert that come to me via Google or ChatGPT, all those conversions have gone already and checked me out on social media. So she is the cherry on the top. She is the caramel crunch on top of my ice cream with nuts on it. Because it is the package. I'm craving an ice cream. Just thought I'd share it. So it really is the complete package, and it does go hand in hand. Really goes hand in hand. But yes, highly recommend you reach out to her. It is not sales, at least it's not direct sales. Exactly that. It's sharing your value of what you do. And people buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And that's why Elsa, and Razia, when you talk about, speaking on camera, not once have I picked up my phone to record myself going, oh, I can't wait to record myself today. So I actually spoke about it at Go Getters this morning. I woke up this morning and there's bags under my eyes and I look tired and didn't sleep so well. But you know what? I didn't cancel today going, I look like crap today. I still show up. And that's the important part, right? So even so, it's sometimes less about what you look like, and it is less. It's all about your presence and your content as well. And it's about showing up. That's it. Most important. So good. I'm glad to see you this afternoon, Elsa. Fabulous. And Elsa, bring any questions. I do a Q&A at the end regarding communication as well. But Jennifer, Bronwyn, Lynette, I'm looking on this group, they've all done that particular course, Speak with Impact for Effective Communication. And I mean, I've seen incredible results from them already. Thank you. Fabulous. Well, it's 1 o'clock. That went by so fast. Just carry on. So I want to thank you all for spending the time with me here today. If you have any questions, if you would like anybody's number, you can welcome Jennifer, reach out directly to me, or Michael for Bronwyn. You're welcome to reach out for me. I'll share their numbers with you. Otherwise, ladies, you can drop your details in the chat box as well. Very happy to share their details. I want to thank everybody for being brave and vulnerable in sharing your questions and for showing up for yourself and each other. Appreciate you all. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, and appreciate all of you. And save the same date, no, not same date, same time, Tuesday, end of the month. See you then. Thanks, everyone. If anybody would like to book a call directly, you're welcome to click the link there for Calendarly, and we can have a chat. Thank you, everyone. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Mwah, mwah, mwah.